Cool. Hi, my name is Ryan Pack.
And I'm Nicole Barlow.
And this is Soundtrack Your Life, where we usually speak with the guests about a soundtrack that is important to them, but today we're going to do something different because we're at episode 100.
Woo-hoo.
Woo!
Woo! Everybody woo? I don't know. I didn't bring champagne.
Wow, tough crowd today.
That was like an excited. I often consider myself in the morning to be a small baby tawny frogmouth owl. And if you look at, like, if you Google a tawny frogmouth baby, it's just like a gray pile of dust with a beak. And sometimes if Matt wakes me up and I'm like a little grumpus and I don't want to be up, I just look at him and like instinctively I just go, eh. But it's like it's not a noise of malice. It's a noise of just being like a small grumbling little dust ball. So
that's how I was an hour ago.
Kind of crouched behind a pillow right now, so that
I'm laying in bed. I'm gonna be real with the viewers. I napped until 12:35, and I was like, I'm getting up and I'm doing a podcast, but I'm not leaving the bed. So
yeah, see, I didn't woo because I wasn't sure if we were like, you hadn't introduced us yet, you know. So
that's true.
Well, okay.
It wasn't that Scott didn't want to be a Scottler in Waldorf.
Well,
fair enough.
Look at us fucking at our 100th episode, like we've never done this before. Who do we have with us today? Ryan?
So we have returning to the podcast, Tara Giancaspro.
Hi.
Who has a fantastic Substack that you should subscribe to.
Thank you. It's XOXO Gossip Giancaspro, folks.
And we also returning to the podcast is Scott Interrante, host of This Is the Greatest Song I've Ever Heard in My Entire Life. Did I get it right?
Wow, thank you. You nailed it. And yeah, I'm so excited to be back and do whatever we're doing today, which is a little bit of a mystery. And congrats, guys, on 100 episodes. This is very exciting.
Thank you. And you just hit 50, Scott.
Yeah, we just hit 50, but like, yeah, I mean, to think a whole other like double that, you know, it's pretty amazing.
Yeah.
Well, thank you. Scott and Tara have both been on the podcast a couple times before. We love having them back. We love talking about music with them. And today, by suggestion of Brad from the Pop Culture Yearbook podcast and Dave Zalatoris from Beer in Front, they said for our 100th episode, we should soundtrack a movie. Like, how would you soundtrack a movie? And I was like, oh, that's a good idea.
And if this sucks, Brad and Dave, this is your fault.
I'm gonna blame the execution, not the idea.
I'm gonna blame Brad and Dave because all of my faults have to be passed on to someone else. Anyway.
So we are going to do that today. We're going to come up with a 10-song soundtrack for a movie that hasn't come out yet. Because I figure we need a blank canvas. And to make it a little bit difficult for me, so I couldn't just sit here and come up with 10 songs on my own, I have a choice between two movies. So I will let our guests decide.
Mm-hmm.
And so we'll kind of come up with a vibe for the movie, so the songs that we pick make sense for that vibe. And so our two choices for today, they come from producer Margot Robbie. So back in April, well, she's produced a lot of things. You got Barbie and you got Saltburn, you know?
Yeah.
So back in April, it was announced that she signed on to produce two movies, one based on Monopoly and one based on The Sims.
What?
Yeah.
So today, do you guys want to soundtrack The Sims or Monopoly?
Oh my God. Is this a joke? Is this like some kind of, are those things really greenlit and really happening? Is it some kind of Hasbro Games cinematic universe?
She's going for these. I honestly thought that her and Lucky Chap wouldn't, because she seems like the type who wants to produce a diverse slate. Like she did Harley Quinn, yes, but she didn't immediately start doing every kind of superhero film. She also is doing, I think, that one where it's the Olivia Wilde, like Christmas Santa kind of naughty comedy. I think she's involved in that. You know, she's trying to do a lot of these women-led projects. And sorry to the fans out there, but I feel like Monopoly is a very boy game. Like, I might be
Yeah.
wrong, but I don't see Monopoly as gaslight, gatekeep, girl boss. I see it as boy light, gate boy, boy boss.
Yeah,
Right.
it's
Yeah,
like
I mean, it came out in like
it's-
1939, so there's a good chance it's pretty misogynistic.
Also, the street names are boring as fuck. I mean, if I was a woman naming streets, like, there would be Dolly Parton Way. And there would be,
Right.
like, streets named after my cats, and, like, Mutt's Terrace named after the famous iconic cheese. Instead of, like, Atlantic Avenue. Like,
well,
no, I
Monopoly
don't.
Yeah.
is so capitalist too. I feel like that's such a. I mean, maybe much like the Barbie movie, we're going to sort of play with these ideas of what a capitalist product means or something. I know Robin Mart, she's very brilliant, so I don't want to put it past her to create a wonderful film. But Monopoly is a weird choice. A Sims is less
Yeah.
like the Sims.
I mean,
one.
I think Monopoly it's a critique of capitalism, not an endorsement of. You know,
Ooh.
it's like look
Yeah,
at how
you know
ridiculous
the
it
kids
is
are
that
playing
you.
this wrong out there. There are kids who are like, I just want to gobble up all the real estate.
Oh,
and the
absolutely. I
railroads."
mean, but that's like all satire is misunderstood. You know.
I would have rather
I
her bought the Game of Life.
Yeah, the game of life would be
Oh.
fun. I would say, you know, if we're thinking about which we should choose, like I do think that there are pros to Monopoly in that because you have all like the different areas, like the different neighborhoods in on the board game, they're different colors. You know, you can get like different kinds of sounds. It's like, oh, when we go to the yellows, what does that sound like? When we go to the blues, what does that sound like? So I think there's some opportunity there, and it does have like it could end up feeling like a Wolf of Wall Street kind of vibe of a film.
What if she reprises her character from
And
Wolf of
she
Wall
could even,
Street?
yeah, exactly. But ultimately, I think we got to go The Sims.
Let's
I
go.
mean, that's
Well, okay.
Oh, I thought you were going to come down on Monopoly. And
no. I
instead,
was just, you know, just making the case for it. But
Can I argue for Monopoly? I just want to like get on my soapbox a little for Monopoly. I think
Go
you're
ahead.
right, Scott. I think Monopoly is a world because it has places, it has defined characters. Not that I want somebody to like be the shoe or that there needs to
The
be like a
thimble.
dog, but you know there will be a dog, right? Yeah, someone's the
She
thimble.
always-
But I do think Monopoly is easier to soundtrack. It's also immediately going to bring to mind songs about money, of which there are many.
Hmm.
I mean,
That's-
Cream, like, come on, like
Pink Floyd.
It's all about the
Yeah.
Pink
Benjamins. baby.
Floyd. It's all about the Benjamins. Like, I just feel like that is an easy fucker to soundtrack, right? What are we doing for The Sims? I don't. Have any
Sims is going to
ideas.
be a lot of sex music and then like and then a bunch of Imogen Heap songs as ladders are removed from pools and people succumb to their watery graves.
Oh my god, I
That's the
love
Sims.
you. What is sex music for you?
Well, it's
Sounded
okay.
Wait. Let's settle on the movie first
No, but-
before we start throwing out song titles.
No.
Oh,
Ryan's
you have to
blushing
fucking
8
first.
shades of purple right now. All I'm going to say is the sex
Blue.
music. The thing with The Sims is, do we have to have the artists of these songs re-record them all in Simlish for the movie?
Yeah, that's
Or
what
is
I was
that-
gonna say.
Or is that just over credits like Katy Perry doing Last Friday Night in Simlish?
Right there's a long tradition of
Sick
of
person.
pop songs being re-recorded in Simlish, and I think that provides a great opportunity for this soundtrack. You know.
Can I just ask to clarify something? Because I didn't know that Ryan did not let me prepare for this, right?
Yeah.
I'm the co-host of this
Famously.
show. And yet when I asked, hey, Ryan, what are we doing for the 100th episode and how do I prepare? He's like, well, I can give you 2 choices, but really I want you going in completely blind and I'm not going to tell you anything. So I had no prior knowledge of this. And I want to know if I get a vote or if just Scott and Tara get to
Yeah,
vote.
sure. You can vote too. That way
Yeah,
we
sure,
can't have
you
a tie.
It's not
Yeah, we
Monopoly
agree.
times. You're a woman. You can vote.
Yes, I agree.
I am deeply the thing is I'm completely open to either option at this point. We have The Sims, which again is sex music and murder a la the OC soundtrack.
Oh,
Or we have Monopoly, which is a no, Monopoly would not be a Simlish cover of It's All About the Benjamins, but I do want to hear that. I mean, we could put that in the Sims one, why not? Someone could go get a job at a bank, but Monopoly, wait, now here's the thing that might break Monopoly. Do all of the Monopoly songs have to be little like Daisy, Daisy, give me an answer, do type like 1930s
oh no,
covers that you would listen to in a carousel because it's Monopoly.
no. I think we're bringing it to now.
Because I don't want that. I mean, some might be interesting, like Billie Eilish carousel music would be personally compelling for me to hear. I want to hear how Phineas gets all up in that bitch, but I don't know if I want a whole movie of that.
Yeah, I think it would be like the Baz Luhrmann Great Gatsby, you know? It's got like a modern edge to it.
Okay, so Lana's involved. Either way.
Well,
Either
or it could
way,
be like
We'll have to
or it could be
figure
a
that
Noah Baumbach like real estate movie, like about like some like young New York couple trying to find a house they could actually afford.
I don't
You
want to
just said
soundtrack a
5
real estate
words.
movie about divorce and real estate.
Noah Baumbach real estate movie are 5 words that just shriveled my vagina. The worst 5 words I've ever heard in my life are Noah Baumbach real estate movie.
But it sounds like something that'll actually happen, right?
Drier than the Sahara. Not if Margot Robbie's
Don't
producing.
speak it into existence.
My apologies.
Oh, okay. Well, we're definitely not doing that, regardless of which game we pick. All right. So as for voting, I do like Scott's point about Monopoly, giving us an option of different neighborhoods and different kind of tones for those. I also like, the possibility of, I'm trying to think of the stupidest song that could be done in Simlish. Scott, what do you think the stupidest song that could be, like a very serious song?
Yeah, I think something like the wordier it is, the better.
Like a
And like you
Sufjan
said, like
Stevens
something
song?
Float On by Modest
Sufjan-
Mouse.
I was even thinking like a Bob Dylan, like Visions of Joanna, but like
Oh
in
my
Simlish,
Wow.
something really poetic.
How
Do you
about
know what?
Not Like Us by Kendrick Lamar?
Not like a
Oh, I
Kendrick
mean,
Lamar
yeah.
could do it. I believe in him. The first song that came to my head, which is This Is Why I'm Going to Hell, but there is this Bandcamp release called My Dick, and the artist just covers songs like Orinoco Flow, but just sings, it's my dick in the Orinoco Flow. And he just adds my dick wherever he can in the song. And he did a
Right.
cover of Tears from Heaven that is Tears from My Dick. So we can't do a seamless version of Tears from Heaven, but that's like the worst song that I think you can ever do a parody of.
You just reminded me of something too. I feel like in either case, whether it's The Sims or Monopoly, John Cena is in both of these movies.
Oh yeah,
And probably Aquafina.
Yeah.
sure.
Like,
Yeah.
or like
Whether you
Aquafina
want
is the
her or
voice
not.
of the thimble.
Yeah.
Yes.
Probably like James Corden is involved here somewhere, which like,
God.
Mm.
can we like lose his travel visa to the United States? Like,
I agree.
can True Patriot just like throw that in a shredder somewhere in some godforsaken office building, like the fucking like Rosebud in Citizen
Right.
Kane? Like, we just like hide that shit forever.
So to make the argument for The Sims,
Yes.
to go back to that, I feel like doing The Sims allows us to do a lot of different things because it's really, it gets us to the ground level. Now this is like a human drama. It could be anything. It could be a romance, a rom-com,
It could be
a
anything.
domestic drama. It could be anything. So I think it allows us to sort of open that up.
There are really 2 very good options here.
Yeah, compelling arguments for each. But I do feel like if I had to read the room, I feel like you and Scott are more into soundtracking The Sims.
I'm open to it. I feel like either way, for some reason, I feel like there is a bank or a financial component that will emerge just because of how much we've talked about money songs. I kind of like the idea of a Sims heist.
Ooh.
Oh,
All right.
Sims heist. Okay,
Who
anyway.
doesn't want to soundtrack a heist?
So let's lock in The Sims. So let me give you a little bit of background. So The Sims actually has a director attached. It is Kate Herron, who is best known for directing episodes of Loki for Disney Plus.
Okay.
Oh, this is real.
Anything
I thought
else?
this was a director of your choosing. I was like, why did you pick this random one?
This is
I was so confused.
this is who is actually directing the movie.
Oh my God. I was like, why did you pick Kate Herron of all directors? No offense to the woman, but like,
I would have picked someone where you'd be like, oh, I could easily think of people music
like
for
Baz
that person.
Luhrmann. Yeah.
Okay, so her notable works are Loki and Sex Education. Is that
Okay.
right? And do I have the right Kate Herron? Because it's really funny
Yes,
to me.
Loki.
Tara was like, Sims would be sex music, and apparently she's directed Sex Education. So that's wild. I feel like Tara is you have some witch energy on the show today. I feel like if anybody on the call is going to actually be predictive of what the eventual soundtrack will be,
it's going to be me.
Sex music.
Well, now, Ryan, here's the question. Are we using, and I mean, this may be a spoiler for 3 seconds beyond what I'm going to say, but are we using the soundtrack to define plot arcs and plot points in the film, or are you coming up with plot points that we need to add a song to?
I am not coming up with plot points.
Okay, so we are devising a plot because I feel that to me would be an important part of being
like a general plot.
Alexandra Patsavas, if you will, like knowing what's happening and knowing who's getting shot in slow motion as they slide to the floor.
Well, because as you said, this movie can kind of be anything. And is it a meta version of The Sims? Is it a version of The Sims where one of the Sims like comes to the real world, a la Barbie? Like, what is happening in The Sims?
She can't do that again, can she?
I think we can do it as many times as we want. I think as a producer,
Yeah.
It's a kind of well-worn trope, right? Like,
yeah, I'm gonna try to not shoot down any ideas because there's no plot that has been announced. So,
yeah,
who am I to say this is what it should be or should not be?
I'm curious as to whether that's going to yield as like a box office return. If it's the same kind of thing as Barbie, it might be more like a Lego World plot, maybe.
Yeah,
it's sort of more internal, but then you do get those outside reveals.
That makes sense. That makes sense. Maybe we are just kind of fully immersed in the universe, and then you only break away from that to see who's playing once in a while as like a gag.
Some kid on a desktop computer.
Kid, let's be real honest. It's someone our age who has a child crying in the background, and it is the meta reference to the meme, like, not now, honey, mommy is watching Jason Derulo fall down the stairs at the Met Gala, and the baby is
absolutely
on the floor. Yeah.
I was at a graduation party yesterday, and I ducked early, and I was like, hey, you need to keep partying after this. Like, promise me you're going to enjoy your graduation day.
Yeah.
And my friend, the graduate, she was like, no, I'm actually just going to play The Sims. Yeah. She's 32.
Yeah. No, that's exactly what I mean. Like, I don't know if 16-year-olds enjoy Sims. I know that people our age enjoy The Sims because they get to make money and afford, like a Pomeranian farm. Like the real truth.
I think this is an important question: is when does this film take place? Because I guess what I was picturing was myself at 16 on a desktop computer playing The Sims. So like, does this take place in the aughts, or does this is this contemporary?
And I feel like the sort of general set dressing and costuming maybe is more playful if it's set in the aughts. I don't know. I also like so desperately want to put like Paris Hilton's Stars Are Blind in this for some reason,
I would I think we can lock that in.
Like, I want some naughty oddies pop hits. I do. I want them. I also, for some reason, want Grimes because I feel like that is the ultimate, like, Sims-esque.
Because she is a Sim in real life.
She's a Sim in real life, so I feel like she'd be like, yeah, I'm going to be on the Sims soundtrack. So I don't know, like maybe that's a direction if we're just saying for the sake of argument, we're in the aughts. This is aughts culture.
I mean,
I'm prepared to lock in Stars Are Blind. I'm not quite there on Grimes yet.
I know, I'm
I'm
not
willing
either.
to
And
be.
like you said, is it contemporary? Is it not contemporary? I don't know. Like, what do you think, Tara? You were so like onto this OC thing, and I really liked that too.
Yes, I had a couple ideas, but again, I was going in a very like almost an action tilt, kind of like how I would soundtrack an uncursed Baby Driver, if you will. Songs that really have a,
I'm
a
spacey.
punctuation to them. Yeah. Yeah, Baby Driver, it like it's a cast that has aged almost as badly as Get Him to the Greek. But in concept, the movie is interesting and I like what he does with the soundtrack. I'm okay with the aughts. The only thing is I am always instead of being a Stars Are Blind stan, I am always a Paris Hilton's Screwed stan because then I get to talk about the Haley Duff of it all. I don't know if you guys know the Haley Duff of it all. It
I
was
don't know
supposed to
the
be
Haley Duff of it all. I don't think I'm
it
that.
was
Yeah.
supposed
I'm
to
that
be
invested.
her big song, and then Paris Hilton leaked, and I'm using air quotes, leaked her version of it
Like she leaked the
to
sex tape.
Oh,
I possibly, yeah, but she like specifically leaked this to a radio DJ in LA and they were like, "We just got the new Paris Hilton single. This is Screwed." And because she leaked her demo of it, Haley Duff didn't get to record the song because then it would look like Haley Duff was copying Paris Hilton. And that's how Haley Duff got screwed out of her wordplay, out of her big single. But
Wow.
I do really love Screwed, written by the first woman judge on American Idol.
wow.
Was it Cara Diaguardi?
Yeah,
This is
she's
knowledge.
huge. You know
Yeah.
what? I'm willing to make that swap. Stars Are Blind has been used plenty.
Sure.
Promising Young Woman, we know
Yeah.
it.
Yeah.
Let's swap. Let's swap. Let's be Mavericks here.
Wow.
Yeah, and Margot Robbie was in Promising Young Woman, so
Was she?
yeah. Or she produced
I
it.
don't remember
She
that. I
produced
believe
it.
you, but
Yeah.
I think
oh,
she was
I
oh,
think
also
she
she
in it.
did.
does I think she does all of Emerald Fennell's stuff, if I'm not
Wow.
Yeah.
mistaken.
We just did a Saltburn episode. She also produced that.
He's
Yes.
everywhere. Well, so maybe it would open it up though to treat this more like the Barbie movie soundtrack, where you're pulling some stuff that feels a little bit nostalgic, but you're also pulling a lot of stuff that's contemporary. I don't know. We don't know the plot, right? We don't know the setting. We don't know the time and place.
It could be a time travel thing where the person playing The Sims is trying to like recreate their youth a la that Matthew Perry
Ooh.
movie 17 again. Like sort of
Oh,
they open The Sims and it's their aughts life
Ooh, I
and they
like
get
that.
more
I like
embroiled
that.
in their aughts life and then they realize there's no place like home, aka 2024, which is not true and we all know that that falls apart in about 5 seconds, but it becomes a bit of a Wizard of Aughts situation.
Smart. That's so
Wow.
smart.
So we could
Butterfly is
use
playing, maybe. I can see Butterfly.
I don't know if I
Right.
want to bring
Like,
Butterfly back, but okay.
But
well,
you
so
know
I
that, like,
just
there
watched
are scenes
Orange
though that
County last night.
signify.
for the
Sorry, go
first
ahead.
time.
So I just watched Orange County for the first time last night. So Butterfly is on the mind.
It's on the mind only because
Wait, Orange
when you
County the
think of
show, or are we talking about the Mike
Movie.
White movie?
Sorry,
the
the Mike
movie,
White, Jake
Mike White
Kasdan movie. Yeah.
Rise. Yes. Come, my lady, come, come. I wish I knew the dance. I really need to. It's weird that with all the TikTok dances that happened during the pandemic, nobody was really trying to get that existing
Doing
dance
that.
off the ground. I would have done it, but
Yeah.
I don't have TikTok.
well,
Yeah.
so not that I want Crazy Town to be back again for anything, but what song, if we're in the aughts, if we're, because I love this idea. I love this idea of going into The Sims and you're like, oh my God, I've suddenly like entered my early 2000s life and choices and mistakes. That would be amazing. If that happens, what songs signify, okay, cool, we're in like 2002?
Is that our like opening song? Like our
It
scene
could be.
setting
It would
song?
definitely
Like,
grab your attention.
It would grab you, would be like,
Um,
I am immediately transported to the early aughts. Oh shit. It's bad. It's ominous.
Like, would the camera pan out and you're in a Sims version of Hot Topic?
Yeah, or you're just like, you're at a party, you've been like dumped into like a party, right?
Bunch of red Solo
I
cups.
I had for my Baby Driver type choices, where the sound really fits in with like action you can do in the movie. Roisin Murphy's Ramalama Bang Bang,
Oh, that's a good one. But
which would
see,
be
stuff like
weird as
that,
fucking Simlish.
Great. Love it. Lock it in.
Right, because we have decided these are all going to be in Simlish, right?
I think it has to be.
And so with that, I think you need some melody, you need some tempo, you need some recognizable tracks, right? You need some things that people are going to respond to.
I would like some Sum 41 in this movie, in Simlish.
Yeah.
How dare you?
I always like In Too Deep for my Sum 41. I don't know how other people feel about that.
In Too Deep's a good one because that also is, again, like your soundtracking. You need things that are a little on the nose, like maybe you wish for something and suddenly, you're in too deep.
You're in too deep.
Yeah. Or like My
Everyone
Own Worst
would
Enemy by
love that.
Lit. Yeah.
Everyone would love that choice.
And when I think of The Sims, I kind of think of like very like sterile, like stuff you would hear at the mall a lot.
Yeah.
You know, that grocery store playlist sort of thing. And I think In Too Deep is like perfect for that, whereas like Fat Lip is a little like too in your face.
Yeah, like if you're an Abercrombie and Fitch or something.
So what are our like tenets of movie soundtrack? That way we can give ourselves like a good 10 or 12 songs to pick. We have some kind of intro scene setting song. We're going to have some big climactic epic song. We're going to have something fun for the finale, probably some kind of flash dance number or whatever the fuck. Probably a love song in here.
Yeah, you need your emotional like climax ballad.
We need a ballad. We need closing credits for sure.
Can I throw out a
yes.
bit of a ballad? The phrase "How to Save a Life."
Yes.
Ooh.
10,000%. Yes.
Ooh, but it's a cover. It's a cover version.
By who?
Well, it's in Simlish. Yeah.
Oh, it's in Simlish. That's right. I forgot. We're all in Simlish. My knowledge of the Sims is like somewhat limited, so
yeah.
just bear with me through my
Same.
stupid ass Sims choices.
Oh, and there has to be some kind of sexy sex scene song because it's The Sims.
No.
So I feel like Tara, what do you think? Where are you with that?
I have to think of the funniest sex song.
How dirty are we going? Is it are we going Christina Aguilera dirty? Are we going like actually dirty? Where are we going?
Are we doing like a Simlish cover of an Arctic Monkeys song off of AM? Which now that I say that out loud, I kind of do need to hear like Arabella or Knee Socks in Alex Turner's Simlish voice.
Oh my God. Somebody should go after this. Somebody should like go through one of those AI generators and just like make it so. Someone needs to do that exercise.
Well, that's what you could do for like the end credits of the episode.
True.
That would be perfect.
Arctic Monkeys Knee Socks is very funny to me.
Let's see. And a love song, which I feel like if we're going in the aughts era, has to be I'm Yours by Jason Mraz.
Whoa.
You know?
I am disturbed. I am increasingly
Especially
disturbed.
because he already he scats a little in that song, right?
Yes.
So so you have the Simlish and then it goes into scatting.
Simlish scatting.
It's absolutely evil. You all are sick.
Okay. Is anyone writing all this down? Do we have a list going?
Nicole, is that you? I certainly hope so. I pray and hope.
Oh, well, we're making playlists of this episode. The one.
Okay, good.
Well, we finally come out. I'm gonna make a playlist.
Are you writing this down, Ryan? Because I sort of am, but I'm sort of not.
No, but I'm also gonna have to like listen to this episode like 100 times.
Let's see. I do have an idea for our more modern sim, who is not our modern sim, our modern person, like who is escaping into the sim world. I don't know if you guys know this song, but I want you to listen to it after the episode and just listen in horror. But the song New Dorp, New York, featuring Ezra Koenig.
Oh yeah, I know it. You know what's crazy?
That's our like modern person walking down the street, like in like a suit, and we think they're all like high powered and successful and shit, and then they go and they just put on The Sims.
Yeah, is that like a Gorillaz collab or like there's some kind element to it?
Something...
If I'm not...
No, it's not Gorillaz.
It's somebody like isn't there?
The artist is called SBTRKT.
Oh yeah, yes. Okay, thank you.
I don't know what that is.
I never know how to say it. It's like yeah, I don't know. Yeah. But
it's Simlish already, so we're good.
Yeah, no, great. This is a
Simlish artist, Simlish American artist.
See, my thing is I come from this world where I'm like, oh cool, yes, I have that on a playlist for like commercial use. Like I've considered this like for a commercial before.
Yeah,
And I think
New
that's
York,
how
New
you
York is
know.
very like it's good.
That's
Like
how you know you're on the right track, you know?
yeah, it's a good like stomping, strutting down the street kind of song. So that's
Now
the reveal of like who our real protagonist is versus who
that's
they jump into in the sim world.
that's the main character energy, right? That you're like, that's the person walking, it's
Yeah.
their soundtrack in their head, and it's like prior to them getting dumped back into Sims world, maybe.
Yeah. Or them like escaping into Sims world because they do not enjoy the reality that they're in.
Down a manhole.
Do we need a crossover novelty hip hop song in this movie? Do we need
Novelty
a,
hip hop song.
Hot in Here, Usher's Yeah, something where it's crossed over and it's almost
Have you guys seen Challengers yet?
I have
Not yet. Not me.
I haven't.
Hot in Here makes a great appearance in Challengers.
But that means that we can't.
So no
use
Hot
it.
in Here, but
Hot in Here,
No, yeah, I think.
I love Shake Your Tail Feather. And I feel like it is time for it to be acknowledged, much in the way that Eve's tambourine is now in some like iPhone commercial or something. And I heard it on TV and I was like, good for Eve. Like that was an underplayed hit in my opinion.
Shake Your Tail Feather, and we just erase Puff Daddy from the track.
Oh god, yeah.
Well, yeah, I guess that's awkward, right?
He doesn't make the Simlish cut.
Yeah.
Who do we drop in there instead? Do we put like Meg in there as a fun new remix of it?
Yeah. Hell yeah.
Okay.
Meg the Stallion on Shake Your Tail Feather in Simlish.
That's good.
Meg is such a nerd, and I say that with pure respect. Like she's always talking about like this anime thing that she loves, and like she's cosplaying. I'm like, Meg would fucking do it. Meg would be honored to do it.
That's such a great point. That's such a great point that she's like, yeah, so into like anime and nerd culture, and she plays The Sims. She would be down.
Also, I just realized something, and I want to just blow your minds a little bit. This movie has to, at some point, feature the incomparable Keke Palmer, right?
Ooh.
I would hope. But I want
I'm picturing Keke having a moment dancing to Shake a Tail Feather in some way. Or Kiki's like the villain. There's like some kind of villain mastermind. I would not mind seeing Keke as like a very campy Ursula type villain, like very theatrical with like boas.
Absolutely.
She could pull it off.
Oh yeah.
So you mentioned, I bet Meg plays The Sims. So I did a quick Google search for like celebrities who play The Sims, like who have talked about it or whatever. And I'm looking at this Reddit thread that mentions Doja Cat, which I remember she talks about The Sims a lot. Maybe we got to get Doja Cat on here.
Doja Cat is also a very like Sims human to me. Like she does feel very Sims. Like she's not real. That's not real.
Completely agree.
Maybe the original like the Moo Doja, like the kind of origin of Doja could be something fun to do as like a cameo.
She was created in The Sims. She got out.
Yeah, or like
she got out.
She probably would do this because she's a total troll, but the like Doja showing feet in the chat, like that as a cameo kind of thing could be incorporated. But I feel like we have to acknowledge like in the movie her like problematic tendencies, but Doja showing feet in the chat would be a very funny like cutaway cameo thing.
And that would be fun. She's like in it. It's like a weird meta thing where she's in the Sims world, like playing on like she's like the concert in the Sims movie, right?
Yes, that's a good idea. Yeah,
the live music moment. Because movies have that. Like these sort of movies typically have that. Like there's somebody like playing in a club.
Oh yeah.
Ooh, you know what? Maybe this is a movie where the modern human character goes into The Sims to relive or remake their like high school adolescent experience, but things start to blend and they start to get trapped in this liminal space between time. So they have a Sim Doja concert, or they think they're going to a Doja concert in real life, but then they realize the Doja's rapping in Simlish and they're like, wait, what's happening? Are my lives blurring together? And then Kiki Palmer is in the background, and she's the villain trying to like trap our character in the Sims world, and then they have to escape to their real life.
That's so good. I
And
feel
Doja
like
Cat is like, I live in both.
Yeah,
Yeah.
she's like Cabaret's MC.
Yes, she's the master of ceremonies. That's so
Yeah.
great. I totally feel like I took the brown acid listening to this, and I love it.
Can I just say that was a pretty good Kiki Palmer impression too, Tara? Your
Thank
laugh,
you.
that really sounded
I've
like her.
never done a Kiki Palmer before, but I mean, I constantly say like sorry to this man, but I say it in my voice, not in a Kiki Palmer. Sorry to this man is a big time quotation around my house.
It's great. I have it on a hat.
I love
Do you
that.
really? That's so good.
I do.
Like if Matt were to offer me like a beverage and I don't want the beverage, I will say sorry to this man.
Sorry to this man.
Like, and the man is not Matt, the man is the beverage. It's just, we
Yes.
know it as like a no, and I don't think so, and I don't want this. Like, it's multi-use, really. But maybe that's where my inner Kiki Palmer was able to come out.
So Ryan, I feel like we haven't gotten a song from you on this.
Well, let me see how many songs we have left. I have written down 8. So let me confirm that we have not missed anything. So we have Butterfly from Crazy Town, In Too Deep by Sum 41, Screwed by Paris Hilton, Moo by Doja Cat, Shake Your Tail Feather by Busta Rhymes featuring Meg Thee Stallion, that Ezra Koenig song New York. Is it New York, New York? Or is
It's
it just...
New York, DORP.
And How to Save a Life by The Fray, and Knee Socks by Arctic Monkeys.
Oh my god, wait, I just realized Kiki Palmer is the one who removes the ladder in the swimming pool, and our character is slowly sinking to How to Save a Life by The Fray.
Yes.
That's the fucking climactic ballad. Yes! Oh my god, Margot Robbie, call me! God, damn.
She's listening. She listens.
As far as I know, there's no screenwriter attached, just director.
We need a good like chase song. I feel like we need a good like, and maybe this is where we drop in like a classic aughts pick.
Right, this is like taking the place of the Charlie XCX song in Barbie.
Mm-hmm. That's exactly what I had in my head. Like, what's the stand-in, the 2000 stand-in for that moment, for that car commercial moment?
That's difficult. That's very difficult for me, honestly. A good chasey action.
It's a hard one, right? Because you don't know what they're being chased. I don't know. It's a hard one, and there's so many good, danceable, upbeat, up-tempo tracks. Like there's like "Bulletproof" by LaRue. Maybe that's too like soft. You know, it's kind of like mechanical. I love songs that are kind of mechanical.
Crazy.
Be crazy. Bulletproof would
be crazy, and I feel like that might be really good. And then that kind of has to fade into Kiki Palmer removing the ladder.
I think I want some Metric.
Ooh, are we Scott Pilgriming if we have Metric? Is that? But we don't have a lot of.
We can go with a different song.
Metric has "Help I'm Alive," which would be great.
That's a great one too. And Metric does have that's kind of almost like mechanical cadence. Like I love things that have this sort of I don't know.
It's great chase.
Yeah, like percussive. Staccato.
Yes.
The funny thing about Metric is they also have a song called "Breathing Underwater," which would have been very funny to use when we learned that our sim character, instead of drowning, is given gills by like her little brother who jumps into the game to save her and is like, making you into a merwoman. And she's like, yeah. But I do like having some Metric in there, and I feel like either Gold Guns Girls is very like do, or you have Help I'm Alive, which I once saw an intricately choreographed ballet too, and it was gorgeous.
Wow.
Yeah, I had Gold Guns Girls. That was the first one I thought of, but I think there's many fitting songs from Metric.
Yeah, let's lock it in.
Definitely drop one or both of those in there. What other kind of fun, like I feel like a Simlish version of Bad Day by Daniel Powder might.
Oh yeah, there's I forgot the Jason Mraz.
Yeah.
Jason Mraz. Don't ever forget. Never forget.
Never forget the
The
fedora.
scatting.
Well, then that would put us at 10, and
I
we
feel
can
like we need
decide
more than
now
10.
if we want to replace.
We need bonus tracks.
I was gonna go for at least 10. I
least
thought we needed something to aim for. We can go more.
I mean, there would be little clips of songs if we're just like, oh, this would be a funny punctuation to a scene or a funny cameo. Like, obviously, we could drop like a 10-second needle drop of something in. And then we get to choose what plays over the credits as well, which I do personally feel like I have to argue that it has to be Katy Perry's Last Friday Night Simlish cover.
In
Which
I
Simlish,
actually
it's
feel
a classic
Katy Perry feels
Simlish.
perfect for this. Like, absolutely
Nicole,
tailor-made.
have
for this
you
movie.
not seen the Katy Perry Simlish cover video?
No, I don't. No, I don't think I've had. Like I said,
Okay.
my knowledge of The Sims is very. It's a little iffy. I'm on shaky ground here.
So are we voting against having Diane Warren write a song for the end credits?
You
I
hush.
am not voting against that. I am never voting against that.
I do not want to invoke that woman's wrath.
You
Absolutely
guys
not.
seem like that. No, we're cutting this out. Like, I don't come on our show, Diane.
No,
But
she is such
my
a
God,
fun
wait.
follow.
She should write something called Diamonds.
I think, let me throw this to the team. I feel like don't we need a montage song? Don't we need a, like, we're getting dressed montage song?
Yeah.
We're
Yes.
tuning in the
Great
Sims.
idea.
Like, don't we need that? We do, right?
Or like
yeah.
changing outfits at the mall sort of thing.
Yeah, exactly. So we need that kind of lightweight mall song, or we need like some kind of like Daft Punk, like harder, better, faster, stronger. Like, we need something to fit that Sims
You got
movie.
some
Perfect
Jay-Z
Day by
featuring
Hoku.
Pharrell, Change Clothes.
Ooh.
Sorry, Scott, what were you saying?
I was saying Perfect Day by Hoku, but I feel like it's a little overplayed on soundtracks.
I sincerely would not mind, though, I have to tell you, if we're doing Change Clothes, but then I guess like character A is the real life one, character B is the one like in The Sims. If they walk past a burrito store where it's like Hoku's Burritos and she does the burrito song in again like a 5-second needle drop.
Well, I also
Yeah.
think you're going to need this. You're going to need this in situ music, right? So not only the Doja Cat like club scene, but you're going to need stuff that's just playing, right? Like in the Sims world. So this is a big soundtrack that we're building. Okay, we're making a whole.
So Hoku having her little burrito shop, and it's like Hoku's Burritos, and it's just how does it feel?
It's a really niche joke, but I support it.
But it's my fucking Sims world,
And
Scott.
it's The Sims, so you need to have like niche, weird sort of things.
Right, and that's why I love that Doja's here. That's why I love that this Katy Perry closing credits moment is here. I think if you are into The Sims, right, like you would respond.
Like, have you seen the NFL schedule release from the Chargers where they did it all in The Sims 2?
No.
What? No.
Yeah, they announced all the teams they're playing, and
Sure.
there's all these like in jokes where
Wow, interesting.
and at the end of it, like they're not playing the Jets, but they like said, we made this for the Jets, and it shows like a guy in an Aaron Rodgers jersey, like scared of like cell phone towers, and then he's holding like a radioactive baby.
That's awesome.
Fascinating.
Tara, when you mentioned briefly Diane Warren writing a song called Diamonds or something like that because of the diamonds above the sim heads, I fully support this. I think we need to come back to this idea.
Who's gonna be on this Diane Warren track?
I honestly think it should be Diane Warren singing it. Let her have her fucking moment to shine bright like the Diane Diamond that she is. Honestly, that woman, maybe that'll be her like Susan Lucci wins the Emmy moment where it's like, yeah, but Diane stepped up to the plate this time. And we have to give it to her because it's like her 27th nomination.
I mean, I would be honored to manifest Diane Warren's first Oscar Best Original Song win.
Wait, here's what it is. Diane Warren performing the song. End of the song, like halfway through the bridge, all of the people that Diane Warren has worked with come out, flood the Oscar stage, and it becomes a "We Are the World, We Are the Diane Warrens." And they all are dressed like Diane Warren at the Oscars, like a little wig. Oh yeah, a little wig, a little suit, and it's like Lady Gaga and like Eva Longoria because they did that Flamin' Hot Cheetos song together.
Steven Tyler.
All of like the Diane Warren, like the Waraniacs, are all on stage And it's like an official music video release, like in conjunction with the Sims movie. But Diane's just like, I'm shining like a diamond, diamond, and like Lady Gaga and like the ghost of
Yes.
Tony Bennett and like all of these famous collaborators and like Dionne Warwick, like everybody's just out there doing a little two-step with a snap. And that chorus of "We Are the World" type singers is definitely in the, like in the movie, in the song Diamonds.
I mean,
That's
I'm
yeah,
living.
1,000%.
I'm living. Diane Warren Multiplicity, the Warheads.
The
that's our
Warheads.
hero's like
Living.
triumphant return. Our hero, who I feel like is probably going to be played by like Kaylee Spaney or something. Like, like she's like, I've made it out of the pool. I found a ladder. I made a ladder with my beautiful mermaid hair, and I'm crawling out of the pool. And then she's like, I have to fight Keke Palmer, and that's it. Diamonds is the final fight song. And then she
Yeah.
is successful, and Keke Palmer is turned into like diamond dust that gets blown away by like a random Sims like leaf blower.
Yes.
Yeah, I think you're right.
I'm scared of how this came to me, guys.
I'm honestly, and
I'm
it's
so scared.
it's
This is in my head and heart. I'm scared.
shocking. I love that you mentioned it's going to be like Kaylee Spaney.
I don't know. Like, I don't know who to cast, because like in my heart, I feel like it has to be like a woman because it's Margot and she's telling like a woman's story. Keke, I want to be my villain. It's too confusing for what my dream would be, which is that Keke Palmer is in every role, because run Keke Palmer her bag and her things at all times. So I just picked a small white woman that I feel like Margot Robbie would be like, I like that small white woman.
And she's great too.
White woman.
Yeah, maybe what's her name, Ariana Greenblatt, who was in Barbie as the teenager. Like maybe Margot wants to work with her again.
Yeah.
So like I'm down.
Yeah, and if it's Kaylee Spaney, I really want like Jacob Elordi. I want that like union back, and I want him to be
Return.
like,
Yeah.
I want him to be a sim that you modded to be just way too tall.
Yeah,
I want him to
like
get progressively taller throughout the movie.
I also really want Austin Butler in this, playing it far too seriously, but I want him to be like Keke Palmer's like evil henchman. And I want him to like deliver the same type of Elvis level, like I don't know what his thing would be. I guess he would only speak Simlish for 6 months.
I was gonna say he'd be method for like 6 months, speaking nothing but Simlish, being just like deep in the game.
Yeah, every interview for the press tour is like, well, thank you very much. For 6 months, and then he just like uses Simlish, like Sim languish, where he just starts dropping in Simlish words instead of English words. Like he's trying to say watermelon, and he's just like Beelzebub. That's I kind of want to see Austin Butler in this. And then Kaya Gerber has to be in this because she's not even like a nepo baby. She's like an Austin Butler's baby.
Yeah.
Like,
well, she is definitely a nepo baby.
Yeah, but I feel like she got Palm Royale because she's dating Austin Butler. That was my true take, because she does nothing in that role. But I feel like they were like, oh, like Austin Butler's girlfriend, he will give her some acting cues.
Yeah.
I mean, what about Io Adibari? Like, could Io be like our central character too? Like, I don't know. Like, she's so funny.
That I'm into. Yes. Okay, I'm into that. Drop everybody I said. Put her in the movie. Put her in the movie. Yeah, because I could see her being the type who's playing the like kind
of fish out of water. She's a good fish out of water as well.
Like, kind of carried like I worked too hard in New York to overcompensate for the fact that I was a geek in high school, and I'm trying to like remake my glamorous existence. And like, I mean, it's great to have a Black protagonist because she can kind of talk about how the aughts weren't as friendly, of like, oh boy, I had to like straighten my hair and like deal with these types of like proving that I can listen to punk even though I'm a Black person, and talk about those kinds of little microaggressions in there, which adds something.
We're
that
getting
Barbie...
deep on the Sims movie.
Yeah, but I mean, like, Barbie was talking
has
about
something to say, okay, Scott? It's got a message.
Barbie talked about feminism, and a lot of people felt like it was white feminism that was really being centered, even in like America Ferrera's speech. So this one gets to dive a little bit more into like misogynoir.
Yeah, wow.
I like that.
This Sims movie is banger. It's going to be a banger. It's better than it needs to be, for sure. Better than whatever they're cooking up at Warner.
Also, Io and Keke is such a good First of all, that sounds like Zendaya as Michi to say it out loud. It has that
Yeah.
mouth feel of like Io and Kiki.
Io and
But
Kiki.
That
Io
umami.
and Kiki. Or what is that other thing that like
Like,
something's like Booba and something's Kiki. There's one that like TikTok trend of like
yes,
shapes.
Mhm.
Io and Kiki. But like just the idea of Io and Kiki working together in a comedic capacity, like
Oh, that sounds
villain
amazing.
showdown.
I
Oh,
would all day take my money. That sounds incredible. Yes.
yeah. I like this very much. That was a great suggestion.
Wow.
As
think
kind of
we
a bonus,
nailed
I know that Japanese Breakfast re-recorded one of her songs for one of the recent Sims games. And I know that she has also scored a video game before, so I would like her to score the movie.
Oh,
Like
what a
like
Love
great
it.
situational
call.
score, yeah, I'm down. That's
Michelle
cool.
Zauner, is that her?
Yeah,
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's
Michelle's on her.
cool. And then you can have was it Crying in H Mart? You can have the book somewhere like in the movie visually on like the nightside table or something.
Right. Well, I do love the way you can create Easter eggs with this and the kind of
Yeah.
weird meta-ness that now I'm seeing the vision a little bit. Now I'm like, yeah, okay, Margot Robbie, you win. This is a good idea.
Yeah, I mean,
Wow.
granted, I don't know if she's going to do this or if it's going to be just what Barbie
No, this is
was.
all real. This is under
all real. We
contract.
wrote this.
Everything we have said today.
Mhm.
What else do we feel like we need to
Surprise.
include? Like adding the costume, like the clothing costume montage is perfect. And it's funny because you said you're not like a huge Sims person, but that's very much a part of Sims. Like people download, they pirate customizable content to infuse into the game so you can have your character have like a Fiona Apple poster or whatever. I just read an article about this yesterday and I
Wow.
remember doing it as a kid. And that would be a fun way to do those kinds of cameo things where you could have Io's character clicking through posters she wants to buy or like a One Direction t-shirt or something, or she's like, I want to download it so my character can
Right.
watch Riverdale or whatever the fuck. Also, you know who would have been a good villain if not for Kiki Palmer? Madeline Petch from Riverdale as our
Oh.
backup villain.
Oh, really good choice. That's also a
Yeah.
really good choice.
She's great in the new Strangers movie, which is not a
Oh,
great movie,
really?
but
I was gonna say, I'm like happy that she's working. She has such a specific thing that I was worried she would just be like typecast and sent to Hallmark hell. But good for her for getting a horror movie.
yeah.
The
No, I think she's good in the horror.
Play, actually, the cast of Riverdale is excelling at
Charles
Yeah.
Melton,
Charles
Hive,
Melton, May December.
Rise.
Yeah.
Charles Melton would also be a good love interest in this movie.
He would, yeah.
If
He's
you
kind of
were-
too
if
That's a great
beautiful for
idea.
this world, but also very like just a very capable actor. So much
I have to ask for no sprouses.
no sprouts.
Yeah, I'm okay
I
with
don't.
that.
We don't want no sprouts.
I don't want Cole Sprouse blowing cigarette smoke in my face in every enclosed set.
Yeah.
That's kind of important to me and the health and safety of my crew, after all. Also, is the wrap gift for this movie that everybody gets like a Sim diamond pendant, like an emerald pendant?
Yeah.
Is that the wrap
absolutely.
gift? Do we all like that wrap gift?
Yeah.
Okay.
I would take one.
Yeah.
Are there any other things that we need to add? They're like Simmy type staples, Scott, as someone who's played Sims.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm definitely like I can't call myself a simmer, It's been a very long time. So there if people are big Sims fans, they're probably yelling at us that we're missing obvious things.
That's what I'm
to
thinking
include,
right now,
but-
and I'm like paralyzed with fear that someone's gonna be like, "You missed this thing, you dumbass."
But you know what? This movie is for everyone. It's like the Sims fans can, they're gonna enjoy it. There's gonna be little things for them, but this movie is for everyone. So
That's true. You know
it's
what? We
bigger than
probably
that.
have to like think of one stupid expansion pack that Io's character purchases. What would be your dream expansion pack? And Nicole, these are like, there's one that's like sexy, like literally it's apparently like a softcore porn one that Sims sold. There's another that's like Wet and Wilds where it's like the MTV Beach Party. Like what would everybody's dream expansion pack be?
Wait, hold on. Explain this to me.
There's a sexy Sims let me see, Sims sexy expansion
Are you
pack.
trying to understand what an expansion pack is?
No, I know what an expansion pack is, but she mentioned like a Wet and Wild party, and I
There's
want
like
to know what
I
that
don't.
would entail.
I don't know if it's
I think we
real
need to
or
stay away from the beach because of Barbie.
yes.
Yeah.
There's the Sims Hot Date expansion, but I want to come up with our own like expansion pack for the movie, and then Sims as a marketing tool actually develops and sells this expansion pack.
Well, if it's
Like
for
the Mojo Dojo Casa
IO,
has.
it could be like an Irish and like an Ireland expansion pack.
So funny.
The IO character is watching the movie Leap Year, was it the Amy Adams Matthew Good movie Leap Year, and
Yeah.
she's like, I want to buy that expansion pack from Ireland.
Yeah, it's
As
the
she
St.
says,
Patrick's Day party expansion pack. It's the pub pack. It's something.
Yes.
Like,
Should we get super
The
meta and just the
Leprechaun
Margot Robbie production expansion pack, so she can watch
Yes.
Saltburn in the Sims world?
Okay, that's a good one. They can call it Simburn in the movie.
oh my God, Simburn is actually really funny, where you
Into
get like the
that.
whole estate and you can like run naked through it. Great.
Yeah,
Oh my
And it's
God.
like, oh, are you playing that game? No, I'm watching an actual movie.
I love the Ireland one because you can also throw in little things like you can just cut through like, and now featuring, and there's a character with like several fingers missing, and it's a little Banshees of Inisherin reference, like a little
That's good.
Boondock Saints
That's
reference, like just throw in a
Yes.
bunch of Irish content. The commercial for the Sims Ireland expansion pack is narrated by Bono. Do we get Bono for this?
No,
Well,
you should get
Bono-
the lion from Sing 2.
I was gonna say Bono was in this thing too, so you know he's not above a paycheck. Like Bono's got a
Okay.
council to maintain.
Yeah.
You know what?
Or,
Sing 2 was pretty good.
Listen, I'm,
yeah, me too.
I'm good with Sting too. It felt like a fever dream, but in kind of a nice
Yeah.
way.
Is Taron Egerton in Sing 2?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, because I love this is a Taron Egerton house.
Yeah. Okay.
Oh,
Yeah,
sure,
he's great
yeah.
in it. He is the gorilla.
So in the way that Keke Palmer does, Sorry to This Man, there is a video of Taron Egerton reading thirst tweets, and one of them mentions the word bussy, and he looks at the camera guy and he goes, "What's bussy?" And they explain, and he just goes, "Really?" With like awe in his eyes and heart, and we do really around the house a lot.
That's
So
me
we're
on this
Wow.
podcast today. Really.
Taron Egerton would be fun in this movie in some capacity. I like the best friend, like Io's best friend in the real world. Maybe he's the one who
Yeah.
comes to her rescue and like,
You know,
turns her into a mermaid.
Not
Like,
not to
fun
downgrade him in importance, but I do think he would be a good best friend type foil, right? In a
I just
want
him to get a check.
setting. Yeah, he's great.
Him or Alden Ehrenreich, because I love
Oh,
Alden
yeah.
Ehrenreich and want him in everything. And everyone, please stream Cocaine Bear. It's very good.
Nah, I don't know.
Scott, Kerry Russell wears the shit out of that pink boiler suit, and Ray Liotta gives his final performance. I don't wanna
Well, it
hear
is
shit.
certainly his final performance. Yeah.
I thought Cocaine Bear was fun. I've seen it twice. Anyway, also, does this film, Ryan, as the fucking evil mastermind who brought us here, does
You're
this
awful.
film open up the world for like a Sims universe or like a computer simulation game universe? Like, is there a nod to Roller Coaster Tycoon in this? And we develop a sequel?
That, I believe, is on
Post-credit
brand because
tease.
they were made by the same company. They're both
So
Electronic
Roller Coaster
Arts.
Tycoon that's coming now. Like, we can't mess with that IP.
Well, you can reference it like as like this is coming soon.
That's the trailer you see at the end of the
It's
Sims.
the mid credits.
Yeah.
Samuel L. Jackson comes out to develop IO, and he's like, he approaches her and he's like, "Do you want to come work at a theme park?" And she's
Exactly.
like, "Yeah," and like that's the end.
Yes.
Roller Coaster Tycoon absolutely has to be one of the like people in the panda mascot suits, like discovering some kind of corruption at the park and taking it down, right?
Yeah, it feels like a very.
There's only one way that goes.
Mhm.
It's like an evil version of Adventureland.
Right. Yes.
Yes.
A little Scooby Doo-ish, maybe.
I gotta get a fucking spec script together. Somebody put me in touch with Lucky Jack.
Honestly, the efficiency at which you've come out with these ideas, both of you and Scott, like the efficiency at which we've done this, like I guarantee you it's going to take like 2 years to put somebody else to put this together.
We're all gonna watch this movie, and we're all gonna be like severely disappointed that it's nothing like what we've pitched
Yeah, it
today.
will not be anything like this.
It'd be like, man, you guys left a much better movie on the cutting room floor.
I know. Well, I do feel like you've made some really compelling points, though, about how this is really for the millennials. So it'll be interesting to see where they fall in terms of, is this a PG-13 film? Is this an R-rated film? Like, who is the audience for this film? Are you trying to bring the kids into The Sims? And is it more of a kids film? I hope that they take some more brave choices, because I think some of these things I would watch them. They sound much more entertaining.
I think it has to approach the dark tone in moments of Uncut Gems or Anka Gems, if you will. But with the Simlish of it all, I feel like the sex has to have the pixelated circle around it. And like any character cursing has to be bleeped. Or it has to be a curse in Simlish. So Io's like, oh, fuck. But it really comes out like, oh, flarg. And there's like an emoji over her face. Like, I feel like you have to let the characters curse and fuck and like snort coke, but you have to do the fun Sim things of censoring these in very like on the nose ways, where a kid watching this movie, the parent might have to be like, oh, so that's why they did that. Yeah. But you wouldn't actually see it because it has to be that campy wink and a nod thing.
Well, yeah,
yeah, I mean, it's kind of like the Barbie movie, right? Like, it ends with that joke, like, I'm here to see my gynecologist. And I remember leaving the theater, and some, like, 8-year-old was like, Mom, what did that mean? And the mom was like,
Yeah.
Yeah. Like, I kind of want it to go there.
Well, and they fought for that. They fought for that end line in the Barbie movie, right? So I imagine similar negotiations are going on right now about how far is too far, and whether the pixelation on snorting coke off of a Sims table is going to be enough to pass the censors, to pass the sniff test.
I think it'd be funny if the character leans down on the table and we cut to like just here so we don't see her nose, but above her head you see like some kind of power bar go up, or like star.
Right.
And you just see the character move their like eyes across the table, like little stupid things like that.
Now, do we think, like, obviously our version should be what gets made, but do you think any version of this movie is actually going to be made? Because, people be optioning things all the time. And
is it in development, Ryan? Is it in development, or is it simply?
But even
they've attached director and producers.
So it's in development.
Yeah, but that doesn't mean.
I know it doesn't mean anything.
Yeah.
Well, I think if they hire you two to make a successful franchise out of The Sims,
if they listen to this episode,
what's good for them. Potential is there. I think what we've found is that the potential is always there if you simply create an entertaining story that sort of capitalizes on everyone's love for nostalgia and for things that are, real about this game that people love. All these things that you just mentioned that I don't know about, I'm like, that's hilarious. Yes, I do want a Fiona Apple poster expansion pack for my Sims.
Yeah, that kind of thing. Like, like Io is like, her character goes from wearing like Happy Bunny t-shirts, or is it Happy Bunny? What's the bunny?
Yeah.
Is it Happy Bunny? Like that kind of thing. And she's like, no, I'm gonna have my glow up moment, and then she gets some like Uggs and like a Hollister layering camisole, and she's like, I'm in the fucking money now. Let's go.
Love it.
Yeah.
Well, I think we have successfully soundtracked the Sims movie.
Yeah, suck it, Warner Brothers.
Release Coyote versus Acme. Don't delete it.
Oh God, they really, really need to. Someone's got to leak that. Like, what are we doing?
I know someone who's friends with Eric Bauza, and I was like, can you please just like give him a long, lingering handshake and a long stare of love from me, a stranger, because I will feel bad about that movie until my dying day. I so wanted to see, and it's like such a fucking worse than the Batgirl one, because I was like, okay, whatever, but something about the Coyote versus Acme really got me, and I was like, shit, I would really like to see this movie.
Yeah, I got all of us.
Well, it's also because it's done. Like the Batgirl movie, like at least wasn't fully made. Like it was. They shouldn't have scrapped it. But like this one is even crazier because it's literally just sitting there. It's done.
Yeah, it's like
understanding it's apparently good. Like it's good. It's
Yeah.
entertaining. And I personally believe that we don't do enough like Roger Rabbiting anymore. Like I really like the blend of like
Yeah.
real humans and animation. Like let's do more of
You
that.
made the fucking Snyder cut. You
Yeah.
went back and
exactly.
made the Snyder cut. Why will you not release
So
this
we really
movie?
need to just build a firestorm for this on Reddit, apparently, because that's where I think Snyder cut. It was like I'm not even trying to make a joke. Like I think it was like 4chan and Reddit and like these
Yeah.
communities of male film and comic nerds. Like that's which is a very
These are people who
open
got
market.
them to re-release Morbius in theaters.
And then
Yeah.
didn't go
Remember
watch
that? And then no one went to go see it.
Right,
But
remember it's Morbin time.
convinced
Like
them.
I love how
Yeah.
everyone was like, it's Morbin time. Then like past that one, you know, Twitter joke, it just
Right.
nobody
It's like,
actually
oh, I'm
went
not
and
actually gonna go.
Yeah, I wish they would even just release Coyote versus Acme on like DVD or something. So they're like, oh, it was like more effort than it's worth, and that's how we can maintain the tax write-off. But then we all go buy it and like have it, or one person
Yeah.
buys it and then shares it with everybody, and it
You should
becomes
have
this
to work for it. It should be a rental in the last Blockbuster. You know how there's that one Blockbuster store, and then you should have to go there like it's the Holy Grail, like it's the Ark of the Covenant, try to get it, and then pass it on to the next person. It should be some kind of like somebody can do that, right? Like, why bring back the black market? Bring back like
Yeah, the things I have to
we
say
want a
about
whole
David
Silk
Zaslav,
Road, but we can't have this. Doesn't make any sense to
I
me.
know the things I would say about David Zaslav would get me like the NSA at my door.
Yeah.
It's
fair.
I truly that man. He is like in my top 3 list of people I plan to fight when I get to hell. Like my mother, David Zaslav, and the guy who changed the Dunkaroos frosting, because the new
Oh.
Dunkaroos frosting is really bad.
I haven't tried the new Dunkaroo.
The new
frosting.
Dunkaroos frosting is just cake like cake icing, like Duncan Hines cake icing, which is fine, except Dunkaroos frosting used to be thick. It used to be a different type of frosting, totally
Like more of
different
a
experience.
paste. Wasn't it more of
So-
like a paste, but it tasted good, like
Yeah.
consistency wise?
Yeah. So when I was having a shitty day and saw a Dunkaroo in the 7-Eleven the day I tried this, I grabbed it and I was like, oh, a nice little callback to a more innocent time because I'm having a shitty day. And I open it and I'm like, okay, great. Same great cracker. I love this. And I scoop into the frosting and like my muscle memory was telling me to only go in a little bit because again, it's like a paste.
Yeah.
Tell me why my finger just falls right into the frosting.
Ooh.
That
That's
person is again high on my list of people to fight when I get to hell. But David Zaslav comes before them, because David Zaslav also canceled the other 2.
Yeah, it's a more serious.
God, that
offense.
show was great.
Yeah.
God, that
It's
show was
pretty
great. Carrie would try to get in the Sims movie and wind up not get like his scene
He
would
got
be
cut, yeah.
for some
Yeah.
stupid reason, but Chase would wind up getting in the Sims movie instead, and he'd have to
Yeah.
pretend to be happy for Chase, and this would be a whole episode.
I just want to say that Chase Dreams is forever going to be like the best character name in the
Yes.
history of television. That is so brilliant to me. I will never
Chase
shut up
Dreams.
about it.
I had a situationship a while back, a long time ago, and we'd kind of kept in touch, and we had like a very confusing on and off thing, and he was working on the other 2, and he was like, do you want any props from like when we break down the set? And I was like, if you see something that really feels like it's of the show, you're like something with like a logo on it or something really recognizable, grab it for me. He's like, okay. And he sends me a poster, like a photo of a poster, and it's this poster that says 8 gay men with AIDS. And it's a big poster. And I'm like, I'm probably going to regret this. It's probably going to be the biggest plot point of the season, but no, I don't think I have room for like a 34 by 48 poster that says 8 gay men with AIDS on it. Tell me why, of course, that wound up being like the greatest episode of the show.
Yeah, you totally should have taken that
poster
poster.
is in the garbage because I turned it down from my former situationship nightmare. I will never live this down in I will Like, that's the reason why I'm not getting sent to heaven.
You got to treat life like
Yeah.
improv. You just, say yes to all the stupid shit.
Yes,
Yeah,
and
I was like, what am I going to do with this giant poster in my house? Now I'm like, look, I'm going to take down this fucking tapestry over my bed and put it up. Oh, and my small cat child just ran.
Can we
No,
cast?
it was-
Can we
it was
cast
like-
the usher from that theater into our Sims movie? The one that goes, "Oh, you're
Yeah.
leaving, huh?"
That is, I'm
Yeah.
sorry, I know we're cutting all this out. That is a precious, precious baby child.
We do not need to cut this out.
That's
First of all,
beautiful. She's beautiful.
we should cast
I love
Lance in the Sims movie.
Oh, he should be in
Because
everything.
he should have been a Ken in the Barbie movie.
Oh,
Yeah.
totally.
Have you guys seen Dolly Parton's Christmas on the Square? It's a
I have
Netflix
not.
Christmas musical.
It feels
This
like
is a
whole
Dolly
like,
Parton.
cultural literacy, but yeah.
Yeah, this is a Dolly Parton musical Christmas. She plays an angel. There's a lot going on, but Lance, the actor who plays Lance, is a pastor in
I need to see
in this
immediately.
movie. And this is a bit of a spoiler, but we do find out at the end that he is Christine Baranski's son. And this film is incredible. You all need to see this.
Is it? Oh, yeah.
desperately need to see this. Okay.
Is it on Netflix?
Yeah. It's on
Okay.
Netflix. It's Christine Baranski's like a Scrooge type. She needs to learn to love the town and Christmas and herself or whatever. I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She's
Okay,
the Grinch this time.
I need to see this desperately now because I love Lance. I know
He
his name is
sings
Josh
great.
Shigera, but like I see him as Lance. I will always see him as Lance. I don't care that he was Pug in the Marvel show. I don't care that he's Manny on Abbott Elementary. That's Lance.
Yeah, we
Yeah.
still call him
But see,
Lance.
I
Oh, look, it's
know him
Lance.
from this Christmas on the Square first. So like when I started watching the other two,
Whoa.
I'm like, oh, that's the pastor from
Oh my
Christmas on the Square.
God. That's crazy.
Yeah. Anyway, I think we did a great job here today,
Yeah.
guys.
Round of applause. I mean, truly, I don't think we could have asked for a better 100th episode than this. This was a joy.
Yeah. Well, thank you, Scott and Tara, for joining us for our 100th episode. Tara, where can our listeners find your Substack?
Sure. It is taragiancaspro.substack.com. It's also XOXO Gossip Giancaspro. You can find me on Instagram and Twitter at Sweaty Lamar. And yeah, that's about it. Check out the Substack. It's free to subscribe if you wish. It seems like more strangers subscribe to it these days than people I actually know. So if you happen to find it through this podcast, please send a message and let me know who you are and how you found me. Thank you.
And Scott, where
Nice.
can people find your podcast?
Yeah, it's called This is the Greatest Song I've Ever Heard in My Entire Life, but you can find us on social media at Great Song Pod. It's GR and then the number 8 Song Pod. And, we're having a good time. We're recording some new episodes and putting stuff out, talking about people's favorite songs. And come check it out.
And you can find us on Instagram and Twitter at SoundtrackCast. Obviously, you know where to find a podcast because you're listening to it right now. Drop us a line at soundtrackcast@gmail.com if you'd like. And we would love it if you would join our Patreon where we have fun quarterly exclusive episodes.
And
Yeah.
congrats again, guys.
Yeah,
on
really,
100
thank you.
episodes.